Hey guys, it's Mike with Redneck Politics, where real American voices matter. Well, I've got several things I want to talk to y'all about today. Uh, One, of course, is Venezuela and Trump's threatening of putting boots on the ground. You know, another thing I'm wanting to discuss is, there's a lot of things coming off the internet, especially from uh, your right podcasters. Uh, they're misleading the Americans. Of course, Trump is misleading them. So we're going to take a look at that today too, and see what can be done there. But there is a lot to talk about. I do first want to say, I want to thank you for all the responses and all the feedback that I have been getting from everybody, good or bad. I appreciate it because even the bad can be constructive criticism. Uh, I don't have a team to put together for us to do the videos and get everything right, professionally looking. I don't. It's just me. But I do want to give you as much professional uh, as I can. But I want, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have the desire to do the things, that I'm doing, because I'm very compassionate about my country. I love my country very, very much. And I believe America is one of the greatest countries in this world. And I do believe that there are bad apples that come along from time to time who try to destroy that for America. And some come with different motives to try to enrich themselves or to break and violate any laws that they want because they think that they're above that. That's not America. We do have a thing called due process. And those are the things that we need to get back to. But one of the things I want to talk to you about today was Massey. If you don't know Massey is a senator out of Kentucky. He is actually one of the senators that pushed for the bill to be on the floor to release the Epstein files, which actually is supposed to come out today. And from what we understand right now, Trump is already violating that order. They're saying that they're not going to release everything. They'll release 100,000 pages now, and then a couple 2 or 3 months now, do another couple 100,000. And that's not what the judge said. But see, that's not anything that's abnormal for Trump and his administration, because they're constantly, even though that they know they're wrong, they get it tried. They try to get it tied up in court and hope that they get enough time in between there that they can make things happen differently. Trump's done that all his life, and that is to blame it on somebody else, always deny, and to stall it as long as you can. That's been Trump's way of doing things ever since he was a young man. But Massey got on the floor today. He's very upset. He is one of the Republicans. He's not a MAGA. This is a regular Republican. He's a true conservative out of Kentucky. He's got a lot of questions that's going on, because you have to understand all this is being told that Venezuela is bringing drugs in our country, bringing cocaine into our country. So therefore that gives us the right to just blow the shit out of anybody we want and kill them without just cause. And again, all this time that's been going on, they've not shown one iota of proof or evidence that these guys that they blew up even had cocaine in their boat, or that they were even coming to the United States of America. That's a long way to travel in one of those boats if you take a look at the boats that they were in. But there's a lot of things that you're saying, well, we're doing it because of the drugs. Let's just fucking be real, okay? If it's about drugs, then why aren't we going after places like Honduras and Colombia and Mexico, uh, the, the countries that are responsible for bringing the fentanyl into this country, because they're getting all the chemicals they need from China is brought into Mexico, and then the Mexicans out back make it in a damn pot. See, they don't care. They don't care who the fuck it kills. They don't care. All they care about is the money. So yeah, something needs to be done about the drugs. But if we're going to do it, let's go after the goddamn cartel. I know we have the ability and the means and the sources to get that done. Let's go after the people that are really causing the deaths of our children in the United States of America. Let's don't pretend and say we're going to go after Venezuela because they're bringing all this dope in that's killing 25,000 people every day because of fentanyl. Well, first of all, they don't even deal with fentanyl; they deal with cocaine. And the only reason why you want them is because you want their minerals, you want their oil, you want a regime in there that is good for the United States of America. That's what you're wanting. I mean, folks, you got to understand, this shit goes back for years and years and years and years. The CIA and the American government has been involved in Latin America for eon years. I don't know. Some of you may not be old enough to remember the Panama deal with Noriega. He wasn't even the actual president at the time. They had a puppet in for him. He was second in charge, so he was basically running the country. He was involved in the distribution of drugs. And finally he's gone. So here steps in Maduro, and he takes over for Chavez. Chavez was the president of Venezuela when Noriega and I can't think of the other guy was in Panama. But then you also had the president out of Honduras, who was charged in the United States of America. The U.S. indicted him, brought him to the States. They indicted him, took him to trial, convicted him, and he got 45 years in prison. Trump just pardoned that son of a bitch. So let's kind of back up a little bit. So we're going into Venezuela because of all the drugs, right? So we're out here killing we probably damn near got 100 people killed already. No proof of anything whatsoever. And even Hegseth now is saying he's not going to show us that second shot. Of course not. That's why these motherfuckers are hiding shit. They're fucking, you can't believe anything they say or anything they do. But you also have to understand, what the fuck was Pete Hegseth, a guy that worked as a news anchor, being put in a position of Secretary of Defense? Are you fucking kidding me? Over all the military brass that we've got with all the collected years of experience, you're going to confirm this son of a bitch and put him in the White House as one of the cabinet members. It's crazy. It's just absolutely insane. I mean, the FBI now, Bongino, he's quitting. But that's another. I mean, they've got so much, you can just damn near do a discussion on anything. But my worries about Venezuela is this. You've got countries like Russia, you got companies like China, you got countries like Korea, who have all kind of swarmed around Maduro, and they're offering up what the United States has taken away. So they're now coming in wanting to give aid. There's military presence, if it's nothing but instructors or whatever that are present there. My worry is I hope Trump is smart enough to know that if he goes in there, you start killing some goddamn Russians or Chinese, And we got more than just a little fucking war with Venezuela. You know, I don't know where all these people are not thinking. They should not be there. Hegseth needs to get the fuck out. Trump don't need to be no goddamn commander in charge over no military. And he damn sure don't need no fucking finger on the button. I mean, as far as I'm concerned right now, every killing that they're doing is just right. It's either a war crime or straight out murder until you start proving that you're doing something. Another thing, now they're hitting oil tankers. You know, they hit the one, and we're confiscating oil. Look, at some point in time, he's going to get a hold of a ship that may be flying up under another flag that belongs to Russia or China or whoever. And so here again, we're treading in water that we don't know anything about. And because you want to change this fucking man, you want him out of office and somebody put in there, man, you know, there's a lot of, you can't just snap your fingers and make shit happen, dude. You might be able to do that shit here in the fucking United States of America, but you're not going to go to another country and push those stupid motherfuckers around. I've heard, and I don't know how many times I've heard you saying how dirty and corrupt and no good Maduro was, and how his people are extorting the people, the people from Venezuela. You know what that fucking sounds like to me? That sounds to me like that's you in a goddamn mirror, Trump, because you're doing that to the American people now. And I hope that we get our shit straight before we get into a situation like Maduro. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Trump has been going on talking about instead of the health care insurance, he wants to send $1,000 to $1,500 to the people. I don't actually think that's going to work. And at some point in time, you know, all that adds up too. Now he has signed an executive order to give 1,450 military servicemen and women a one-time $1,776 check, and our military deserves it. They actually deserve more than that. But I'm having to explain what he's doing. And the total cost of what you're giving up will end up at like $2.6 billion. That's what it will be in total to pay the military. You know, Trump keeps saying that we have already brought in $18 trillion off of tariffs. But they can't prove anything. The only thing they can prove is like $236 million that's on paper that they've made. You can't count a goddamn IOU, or hey, if the weather ain't bad that day, we'll come do business with you and sink $1 trillion into your country. I mean, they sit and talk about Biden, and matter of fact, talk about any of the presidents. But Trump single-handedly has taken that deficit from 32 trillion to 37 trillion with that big, beautiful fucking bill that they needed to pass in such a hurry. Because he wanted to make sure all his rich folks, they get them tax breaks. And don't give a fuck who gets cut off of Medicaid or SNAP, or what kids go hungry, or what kids can't see the doctor, or whose grandmother broke their hip and can't get medical care. See, that's the real fucking world. And that's what you need to get used to, dude. Matter of fact, you don't even know, you don't need to be nowhere near there. You have literally lost your whole fucking mind. He's also talking about giving $2,000 checks to every American because we've made $18 trillion back. Again, people, it's on paper. There's not any money being exchanged, no nothing. You can sit and talk about all day long that you got this and you got that. But if you can't do what you say you're going to do with it because you actually have the money, man, quit blowing fucking smoke up people's ass. This deal with he's come up with this plan, and it's for kids. He wants to put $1,000 into an account, a Trump account. Now remember that Trump account. He wants to put $1,000 in there, and what he's saying is that way, by the time a child reaches 28, they'll have $1 million something in there to be able to start their life on. Man, dude, if you can do that, I'd be all for you. Man, I would love for you to do the kids that way. Give them some kind of guarantee in life, because you done fucked everybody else out here. You might as well do something good. But the only problem is you're not telling the people that the only way this adds up to 1.6 whatever million dollars is because every year the parents have to put in so much money towards this account. By the time they pay their end of it all, they'll have spent over $200,000 in order for that son or that daughter to get that million plus from that Trump account. Now, while this is going on, Trump can take that money that's sitting in those accounts and he can play with it any way he wants. He can use it to invest any way he wants. You know, to me, honestly, why don't you just fucking be honest and say, hey, we're going to give a kid $1,000 fucking dollars as soon as they're fucking born, and whatever the parents and all decide to do it, that's on them. But we're not going to blow smoke up the American people's ass and make them believe something and give them hope when you ain't doing but lying through your fucking teeth anyway. There's always a gig in it somewhere. There's always a grift in there somewhere for Trump. He don't do something for nothing. But, guys, he's still defying court orders. They told him to release the Epstein files today. They're not doing it, and they're saying it openly. How many goddamn times are we going to let this man defy court orders to where you start treating him the same fucking way as you do any other American? And see, that's the sad part. You take every other American who gets up every day and pays his taxes, you're guaranteed to get his money, and you'll throw him under the fucking jail quicker than you will a man with $1 billion that's standing in straight defiance. None of it makes sense, man. This shit has gotten fucking twisted. Guys, like I said, I do all my work myself. I do all my research myself. I make my notes on everything I do because I want to make sure that I'm bringing you the right information. Because honestly, I don't think a lot of these media outlets, they are being threatened and sued by Trump every time he turns around. So they are fucking gun shy. But I'm going to tell the straight up fact like it is. You know, I'm always going to be able to show you where that proof comes from. And every day I try to put out these videos for you guys so y'all don't have to do this research. You don't have to worry about what's going on or you having to sit down and watch politics and interrupt your life. I'm doing that now. So if you guys will hit the like button and subscribe to me, it don't cost anything. It's free. And it helps me to continue. It gives me that encouragement and that drive. And as passionate as I am about it, I'm going to continue to do so. And if you'll hit the alert bell once you subscribe, every time I put new content out, you will be notified. But guys, I really appreciate everything, the comments and everything that y'all sent me. I want to do nothing but improve more and more as I go to give you guys the professionalism and the facts that you deserve. I appreciate it, guys. Peace out. Good night.